social media is fueling the spate of indiscipline and violence we are seeing in our nation's schools. That's the opinion of Minister of Education, Dr. Nayan Gatsby-Dolly. And we had 24 people weighing in on our poll this morning. 15 said yes, they believe that that is so. 9 of you said no. All right? I can tell you there, people are very much preoccupied by seeing themselves. You just have to look. For those of you who look at sports, you just have to see the reaction of people when they realize that they are being shown on the big screen. In other words, the camera panned, and for a fleeting moment, that camera remains on a group. For whatever reason, you see the reaction. People are fascinated by seeing themselves on a screen, on a camera, on a monitor, on a big, well, better yet on a big screen. You understand? So I have no doubt that people, for one reason or the other, may be fascinated by seeing themselves fighting or parting a fight or even filming a fight because they add commentary to it too. A lot of people add commentary to what is going on. A man fall asleep at traffic light the other day. Lord knows what was going on with the man. Whether he had a medical condition where he was just tired, he was drunk, whatever. But the instinct of somebody to take out the phone and film that whilst commenting, that is what got the likes. Not filming yourself walking up to the man and saying, hello, excuse me, sir, can I help you? How are you going? Everything all right with you? Now, if that was the video, I didn't mind it. But you sit from where you are across the road and you filming this man sleeping and you comfortable. That is it for you.
It's called the attention economy.
Oh, dear.
It's called the attention economy.
Yeah,
and that's what social media is built on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I saw that.
What is fueling it? I think the genesis of it is young people and their training. So because there's some who, the vast majority will not go the length of fighting on camera or antisocial behavior on camera. It is those who have some sort of gap in their home training and in their own sense of self that they need to go to the length to get the kind of it. But then you see some celebrities doing it too, and that's part of the attention economy. So they go all and out to keep the attention. Think about Madonna. And she laid the template. The more outlandish you are, the more attention you get. You keep yourself relevant.
And for the people who are angry, who when the blood rush up in there or whatever, the fact that somebody filming, it don't occur to them at all, you know. So they don't say, oh God, somebody's filming me, let me behave. That they long past that road, the long past that road is action now, is dealing with whatever in front of me now. I could care less how I look. You understand? But in America, they have movies on these things. They develop programs around these things that people film. You understand? There's a whole industry out there, you know? Imagine you capture a bird in full flight, or you capture let's go with the power breakfast show fetish. 2 animals mating. I know they like that. That is big news.
Yeah. Let me just tell you folks
that could make you a millionaire, Paul.
You confusing the power breakfast show with one of your other social circles. You know?
Yeah, but let me just tell the folks that that we are streaming on YouTube. So good morning, and it's an open Zoom link, so you could join us this morning. All right.
Imagine you had get footage of that incident in that car, there, Paul. Where guy got a pay of $5.2 million.
You're obsessed with
that is nothing. I want to get footage of you.
I'll send some for you a day.
Just post it.
Nah, I can't post that thing. You're crazy.
So we're talking about the last of this morning. This is where you can join our conversations about the issues we've been talking about all week long. Please remember to mute your original audio source when you join the YouTube link so that we don't get the feedback and the double audio, which is very distressing to the wider audience. And a lot of conversation this week has taken place around the young lady, well, the girl, 15-year-old girl who stabbed her classmate. She's now been charged. I think she has 2 charges against her. And what her future looks like.
Yeah.
And as Wendell was saying earlier on, it was one of the things that struck out also is that the fact that she's in the Form 2 and 15 years old, which means that she's behind her cohort in terms of education. Generally, 13 is where you'd be in Form 2. 12 and 13 would be in Form 2.
13, yeah.
So she's clearly behind her cohort, which could be another sign that she's struggling in some way or the other. And possibly part of the reason why she may have responded that way, even if she was being bullied.
Yeah.
And it brings the wider question: the school systems, the minister took pains to read out, excuse me, all the infractions and the percentages of the infractions. She didn't take time to read out the systems that were in place to remediate them, though.
Yeah.
Which is where you need to be focused, because yes, in any jurisdiction, children will give trouble. They will give trouble.
If I have to go based on one of the stories here, that no one in the school spoke to this young lady since the incident. That's
what the father said.
Yeah, that's what the father said. Right? That has to be, something has to be wrong there.
Well, it happens over and over because at the end of the day, school systems are overburdened, but children have needs and the system is not taking care. Good morning, Lincoln.
Good morning, Senator. How are you?
I'm all right, man. How are you going? Where are you calling us from?
I am actually in front of the Hyatt right now.
Okay. Traffic? No traffic?
No traffic heading east, actually.
No, he would get heading east. He would come. If he coming into Port of Spain, he would get.
Yes.
Yeah. So it must be smooth sailing by the Hyatt now.
Smooth sailing.
What are your thoughts on the young lady?
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on the young lady?
I have mixed feelings about it because you don't want something like that to happen to your 15-year-old child if it's for defending yourself, but the police has a job to do. And she did violate the law. So, actions have consequences. You understand? And that is just the consequence of her actions. Whether she was right or not, that is just how it is.
What are your thoughts on our poll, though? Do you think that it's because of social media we're seeing this preponderance of violence spreading throughout the schools?
Yes, but I think violence have increased from yesterday's. It has increased from yesterday's.
But do you believe it's because of social media?
I think people feel the need to respond in a different way when they see someone recording them. People may not be as inclined to be violent or take on a situation if it's between you and me alone. But for some reason, when there's a phone, when there's somebody there recording, we feel the need to give a show.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Especially in police encounters. Right? I'm seeing, which is a good thing, I'm seeing a lot of police encounters happening more recently in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? And based on the question and other things that we're seeing with police, I support that 150%. Right? Gentlemen, I saw a video, specifically I saw a video on social media last night, where a man who was involved in a police incident with an inspector made a recording. I don't know if any of you all saw it, to show that this inspector came to his house to issue him 4 tickets. And I spoke to several police officers who guided me to say that was totally out of character. If the man did something wrong in an incident a week ago, first of all, if the inspector chose to write him tickets, he should have been sent a summons, right, to appear to court. The same inspector who did the offense, who charged the man, should not have appeared at the man's door to personally hand him 4 tickets.
Is that the incident where the policeman pulled in front of a man and the man started filming? Is that the same person? You
Same
mean,
person.
but I think he was a little higher than inspector. He actually went and served the tickets?
So went with 2 armed police officers and to the man's house and served the man 4 tickets.
Well, you
He
could
made a
tell that
video
he
of it.
took. You could tell that he took that incident personally, yeah, on that video.
Personally, and it is clear victimization.
Yeah.
Save and aside from that, based on what the man said, the tickets had the date yesterday that he gave him the ticket, not when the incident
Not the
happened.
incident.
Not the incident. It's a bicycle case for Eddie. You don't even need to be a first-year law student.
Yeah, but guess
any
what?
layman is a bicycle case to win.
But guess
But
what?
this
Is
is-
the inconvenience that you have to go through.
Yes, and it shows the incompetence of the TTPS.
Well,
You understand?
it might not only be incompetence. It shows a bit of spitefulness, possibly. Victimization, yeah.
Victimization. And
But
this is
if
why
that's the case, there's a police complaints authority that if some
Oh, waste of time, Paul. I
approach.
don't have no confidence.
Waste of
I don't
time.
have any confidence in that
But
whatsoever.
I disagree with that, and I think the police complaints authority is doing what it can do within the legal mandate that it's had. It's asked for expanded
Well,
powers.
you know
Agree?
why the citizens may have no confidence? Because we have not heard. The police complaints authority may be a working organization, you know, but it needs to market itself better to say what it does.
No, but
What kind of
it
justice
has said in the
happened?
public already that it has made recommendations based on infractions it investigated, but it can only make the recommendations. It can't charge
So
nobody.
then it's a toothless dog.
Yep.
It's a toothless
And it's been
organization.
asking for the mandate to do more, but it has not legally, legislatively got it.
Where did
So then-
Adande go? Adande was online just now. Where did he go?
I don't know. I was just looking for him here.
He looked like he was on a beach somewhere.
Ragoobarsingh, like you going on the beach too?
It looks so. Yeah, but that those issues of police overstepping their bounds and whatnot, I mean, that's international. We're not immune to it, but Lord, it kind of, I don't
Here's the
know.
problem.
I don't know that any police commissioner could stop that. I
Here's the
don't.
problem. At least internationally, they have body cameras that they could be that they have evidence of what they're doing.
Mm.
In a lot of states, that is, or everywhere they have it, but most of them have it. In Trinidad and Tobago, unless you record it for yourself, it's your word against the police. And when they go into court, police is God. As the police mantra to say, the police themselves to say, it's God and then the police.
Well, after
You
God,
understand?
this is police.
After God is police,
Yeah,
yes.
After you call God and he ain't show up or thing, his next thing is police.
They say themselves. So when you appear in front of a magistrate, a judge, or whatever, unless you have evidence, magistrates subside to the police.
Yeah. But I mean, we've seen evidence too over the years that police have been, how I should put it, brought before the courts. And a legendary case is about to take place. I don't want to talk about it because these guys will think I have a personal angst with it. But I remember.
But you do though.
Well, I remember.
But you do have a personal angst against it.
Paul,
But you do. You keep saying that you're objective and you think, but when then we understand, you tune in and you watch and you say camera is a biatch. Okay,
I will
you're
say-
tune
I say-
in and yes, but you have a personal angst.
I'm
Admit
not
it.
going
It's
to say
okay.
anymore.
We
Because
admit
you know
that we
why?
understand.
What is that incident about?
No, Lincoln, you're not going to bait me into that.
An officer who used to pull down people on the bus route, including
Oh, right.
what he named there,
Right.
end up on some serious charges recently. So, Mr. Man,
Right.
without gloating,
What you
feels that
doing?
the
What you
universe
doing?
has returned the fire.
I was a victim of abuse, Paul. I don't forget those things, you know.
Did you break the law?
I was a victim of abuse.
Did you break the law?
As a counselor?
Well, not I wouldn't say as a counselor, but
You
as
were
a-
on the
as
bus
a-
route with a priority pass.
All right, let me repeat for people. Let me remind people what happened. My vehicle was broken into the night before. Okay? And I have a legitimate bus route pass for that vehicle. I went to the police, made a report. Well, the police came home by me because it was broken into in my yard. Police came, took fingerprints, whatnot. The next day, I got a vehicle borrowed and I was using it. And I drove up the highway and I went onto the bus route because there's a certain part of the bus route I must use to get where I want to go, right? And bam, I met a roadblock. They pulled me over and I tried to explain to the officer that just the day before, less than 24 hours before, my vehicle was broken into that have this part, the number on that pass. This is just a borrowed vehicle. I just came onto the man I want to hear nothing. The way he spoke to me, that was abuse.
Yeah, I understand he was quite rude to people.
He's been rude to many people.
Yeah.
But
Let's say good morning. Going out to Bernice McDonald. Good morning, Bernice. Cheryl Seabrath, I think it is.
Hey.
And the same police is now
read
on
what Cheryl Seabrath had to say now.
It says, good morning, Wendell Stevens. You're such a beautiful human being.
That's very important. Cheryl Seabrath, whoever you are, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Is hell getting Paul, Steve, and Richard to recognize that? But
I think you are as beautiful and flawed as all of us.
I think, well, possibly.
I am not flawed. Pakistan has lost their first wicket, 25 for the loss of 1 wicket after 6.3 overs, if you're wondering.
So, Lincoln, the officer is on some serious charges now. So, Wendell would not be pulled over by him in a hurry.
Well, hopefully you get back the bus will pass on the right vehicle.
But he's walking the straight and narrow now.
I did get it back. I paid the fine. I got my demerit points and I said, okay, fine. Because I did admit at the end of the day, lawfully I was wrong, right?
Correct.
Because I thought by me explaining to him what happened, he would say, okay, I understand your position.
In the military, they have something called guilty with a cause, and that is exactly what you know.
I didn't just pick up a next vehicle and went onto the PBR. My vehicle could not have.
It wasn't wanton lawlessness.
No, it wasn't.
Correct.
But the individual didn't want to hear that.
No.
So
what I've heard is not a man.
So what he should have realized is Wendell pull out the blue soup and the coquille broom. And the rest is now history.
All right. All right, gentlemen, we have a lot of calls coming through, so let's grab one of them for now. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to you all, Wendell, Steve, Richard, and Paul. Wendell, Steve, Richard, and Paul.
Good morning.
Morning.
I heard Wendell talking about that incident with the priority bus route, which he mentioned some time ago and as well. But let us be fair, right? As an intelligent person, you know that you have to be driving the vehicle for which you have the pass, priority bus route pass. So that is, as far as I'm concerned, a violation of the law. Secondly, there is no place in Trinidad where you must go on the priority bus route to get to your destination.
No, I can tell you that there are.
Well, I don't know. Well, very few people probably go there.
There are people who are resident in Bamboo and some other areas in the bus route who have to use the bus route to get to their homes.
Yeah.
To get to their homes?
Yes.
Yeah, there are certain parts of the bus route that has that peculiarity, yes.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Well, so as far as we are concerned, as far as I am concerned, with regard to, an intelligent person should know, okay, I am not driving my vehicle for the priority. So let me use the road, okay? And, that would have been avoided. So you cannot be against the police for doing his job.
No, I think you misunderstand what Wendell has said. He's not that he's against the police for doing his job. He's against the police for the tone that he spoke to him in and the attitude that he gave him.
Oh, is the attitude? Well, yes. These policemen, they just from the time they're in a roadblock, they feel they can talk to you in a particular way, and you must listen and be subservient.
Well, some police officers, because I've encountered police officers in roadblocks, and they're quite polite.
Right.
That word, because that is my mantra as well too. That word that woman used there, that subservient word, It's a very, they love you when they feel you are most compliant when you are, yeah, the boss. Okay, the boss. But anytime you know what you for, hear the question that is asked you. There's a lawyer. Anytime you're aware, the slightest bit aware of your rights in Trinidad and Tobago, the police are most offended. You should know what you're supposed
But you're not
to
supposed to
know.
know more than them.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
an example was
I think I'm going to create a support group for Lincoln and Wendell, because Lincoln is clearly the subject of
Toten as well. Again, Toten.
No,
Clearly.
I have a peeve with injustice. I have a peeve with wrongdoing. I have a peeve with bullying, and to a great extent, a lot of TTPS officers are bullies. I have a peeve with people who feel they are above repute and they're doing all the wrong things, beating the wife, as this last 67-year-old man is charged of doing. You understand? Who writing whole false statements for people stating that they are police officers, why they should get tint on their vehicle. And a lot of erroneous thing that senior people in our TTPS department is doing.
yeah.
Constables doing a whole set of misbehavior in public office and bribe and all the different things. But you have the senior people doing wrongdoing too. And we seem to have them in the most highest esteem of,
Yeah.
after God is them.
Well, according to an old saying,
TTPS.
give a person power and it doesn't turn you into something, and it shows who you are.
Shows who you are, correct.
Yeah.
So people who have that tendency, when they get some sort of office with authority, tend to go in that direction. Because they feel they're above all else. Well, the law come down on himself.
The same law that he was protecting.
Yeah.
Well, he's sworn an oath to uphold the law, but clearly, based on the charges, he seemed possibly not to have been doing that. As a matter of fact, he has some issues in his own home.
Yeah, he does. All right, you can join our Zoom link, of course, on our YouTube channel. Just look for Power 102 Digital. Subscribe. The link is there. And you can join our discussion via Zoom. Good morning to Riri. Happy Friday. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Good morning again. I'm seeing someone here. Onaid, Timothy. Yeah. Good morning to you as well. All right. We have a lot of calls coming through, gentlemen, so let's grab it. Good morning, caller.
What trouble is
Morning.
this?
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Paul,
Good morning.
the day you encounter a bully, a rude police officer, you will change your tune.
My dear, I have encountered bully police officers, and as I said, I have encountered polite police officers. So I said some. I have encountered bully and obnoxious police officers, like I'm sure all of us have. So I don't have to change no tune. My tune staying the same.
Oh, really? You did? Wow, boy. I tell you. Anyway.
All right. Thank you.
Let's move on. That female caller, she seemed to be a foreigner that she don't know. The people live in the bamboo, and certain areas must access the bamboo.
The Betham too?
Yes.
Well, some parts of the Betham, not all.
Your home.
Because the Betham has an entrance on Parsley Street.
Dabadi?
You lady. Anyway, let me move on. What I didn't call for that. The situation with that cool girl. Whether, because we only hear no kind of thing bandied about. Oh, she was bullied, whatever. You can't get the full story. As usual, the media does just run with story like Mr. Killer. No investigation, but they just run with story. And now that Singh had to resign. Anyway, I ain't called for that. The principals and teachers in some of our schools, they don't handle situation when it comes to bullying. I could tell all you, I experienced it with one of my sons at Newtown Boys. I get it live. And I feel the pain for the children who are bullied and teachers and principals doing nothing. They wait until it escalates, like how this escalates, and it blow up in their face. And then everything is to sweep under the carpet. Hide. I don't want to shame my school. But it go come out eventually. As my mother always used to say, if you keep defending your child, there comes a time where you might have to hire Richard. You will
All right.
have to get a lawyer to do it. My son experienced it. He complained to teacher, he complained to principal, and the principal used to say, go back in your class, go back in your class. And when he couldn't handle it no more, he took on the 2 bullies, cut their tail, beat them. He didn't use a weapon. He was in 2nd standard. Cut their tail. And then the principal, and hear the thing, to tell you how they're so one-sided. She ain't called. Imagine my son beat 2 boys. I would think you will call all parents involved in the parents of the 3 boys. You know who she called? She called my husband. My husband up on a pole. He get called, come in. And when my husband reached there, he said, wait, where their parents? He said, wait, my son fight by himself. He didn't fight with them. He walked out. And that is how they handle situation. You all remember the
All right.
lady?
Thank you, caller.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, caller.
Gregory, what you doing here?
I'm seeing Gregory
Good morning.
McBurney
Yeah.
there.
Good morning, Gregory McBurney.
Put on your camera, Gregory.
What is he doing here?
He has a contribution.
Yeah. Good morning, Gregory McBurney. For those on our Zoom, Gregory is the other half of
Gregory,
Neil Babin on you.
Gregory, your face too fat for the camera to be in that orientation.
There, boy.
Turn the camera now.
And that is AV.
Hey, look at this. The newsroom in the house,
AV.
man.
The newsroom is on our Zoom link.
Newsroom couple.
Yeah, they're a couple for sure.
But
Good
Gregory,
job.
have I seen you since you cut your hair? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, no.
No, because I was wondering who was that person. I thought it
And
was
Gregory and Avril both have strong views on the young lady in the school because they're both parents of children in secondary school. But Gregory's daughter is in primary school.
Well, let them weigh in on it now.
So let me hear.
For me, I automatically assumed yesterday that this young lady who was expelled, that there would be something in place for continued education as well as rehabilitation. But I only found out yesterday after speaking with Tutor's president, Antonia De Freitas, that there really is nothing in place. Prior, there would have been, she explained that there would have been somebody from, if you, let's say you're in primary school and you misbehaved or there was some deviant behavior, what they did is that they would suspend you, you would go off to be rehabilitated, your education would be continued, and then they would integrate, I suppose, back into the school system. Now, she said recently, with somebody older, they would put the boys in St. Michael. So if they suspended, put the boys in St. Michael home, the girl in St. Jude. But with the recent reports coming out of children's home, they now don't really want to do that. So there's nothing in place for somebody like this young lady who has been expelled for continued education. And I just find that, I mean, I was just really blown away by that. I just what? So I'm very concerned. 1 and 2, there was reports of bullying. So I don't know if there was enough done in terms of investigations as to what really led to this. You know, so I mean, those really are my views. But I think it is concerning that you know, she there's nothing in place for her continued education.
But thankfully, the father,
this child, then it must come along with continued education, because she must have some hope for the future. There must be some plan for, you know, for her to continue on and to become a responsible adult, and for that you also need education. So I mean, I guess Greg will tell you what he feels now.
I pretty much share the same sentiment. I mean, you expel her, but to what end? You know, I don't see how it fixes anything. If you told me, well, okay, probably suspend her indefinitely while she seeks whatever rehabilitation or treatment she needs to get, to put her in a space where she could, you know, reintegrate into a school and, you know, interact with other children safely, then fine. But you just expel her. And I think any principal who a child applies to go into the school, particularly midway throughout your education, she's informed to, the principal is going to ask, well, why, and they will find out obviously that she was expelled and she was charged, etc., etc. And I think a principal will be hesitant to take somebody like that into the school. So unless it is that the government, the education ministry, is able to, let's say, mandate, but ensure that she continues her education at another educational institution, then I don't see how the her expulsion is beneficial, really.
Well, thankfully, the father has responded, according to an article today, said that he has reached out to private institutions and they have already indicated a willingness to take her. So, because he says continuing her education is important, which is what you all are saying. So hopefully things will work out for that young lady and she will get the help that she needs, you know. And but I hope that they are also looking into her reports of the other children who would have been bullying her and deal with that, because that situation is another situation and needs fixing, because children who generally bully other children are bullied themselves or have issues where they are where they exist, you know. So hopefully it doesn't just end with, all right, the girl stab her, we kick her out of the school, she's on charges now, matter fixed. Hopefully it doesn't end there. Yeah.
Well, whether the system leaves it there, I mean, because the system may, you're right, the system probably may just leave it there because the system is not necessarily
working properly,
discussing it or intellectualizing it like we are.
Yeah.
Jerry, good morning.
Where's Jerry?
Good morning.
Jerry, put on your camera. The whole purpose of YouTube is to see you, you know. Don't feel like a getaway.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Jerry.
Morning, Jerry.
Morning.
So what are your thoughts?
Coming basically. I'm sorry for both students, the attacker and the victim, but somehow I think our society continues to be reactive. And the conversation we're having this morning, I think one of your hosts spoke about it with the post from yesterday, well, or the morning before, where children who are suspended or expelled from school, what we do with them. I think we continue to just be reactive and we're not really proactive or thinking, all right, this has to stop. What are we going to do? Because bullying is a hell of a thing, and we as adults would say, and I listened to Paul yesterday when he was really upset with Mr. Pinal with the defending of self. But a child, sometimes mind is so limited on what can I do? How can I defend myself? I spoke to maybe a teacher, I spoke to another adult, and it's just avoid the child. Just don't go wrong them, don't talk to them.
The difference with me and Mr. Pinal is, while I understand what Mr. Pinal is saying with a child's response to not being heard after being bullied, I think as an adult it's irresponsible to say it's okay to take a knife in your bag if you not you understand?
Right.
And there's a difference.
Right, I agree with that part totally. Yeah. But we have to find ways to get places for children to speak out, to communicate. There was a program.
Jerry, let me tell you something. Sorry to interrupt. Children speak out in different ways. If a child is being bullied in a classroom, there are signs that are very clear that the child gets withdrawn or the child gets more agitated, the child starts performing academically. Till the teachers are trained and astute and observant, they will see some sort of change in the child, in addition to sometimes the child coming out and saying they bullied. Where's Jerry going?
He's somewhere there. We have another one. On it, good morning.
What, Steve? Or one day, you mean?
Or, I can't see, it's too far.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Everyone good. Having some technical difficulties.
Yes, Jerry, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a call. And I agree with the speaking out and the lashing out on the communication, not listening to them.
Jerry, you're having some
Jerry on that network. Jerry clearly on that network.
What happened is when you get a call, you have to log all the way out and log back in.
Right.
If it logs in as the call hangs up, it always have a delay and buffering and stuff like that.
Yeah, but who calling Jerry this hour of the morning?
All right. So let's
Yeah, you know he
let's
on
hear
power
our
breakfast.
next viewer.
Well, somebody's just sending me some messages. Lisa Cooley, she's saying that education is a right. The government pays private schools $4,000 per term for schools who are assigned there. Private citizens pay more than 4,000 TT per term. So she's suggesting that the state should pay for her education. The student should have been suspended pending an investigation. And the principal can suspend for 7 days, is what she said.
Which is what Jerry said, eh?
Yeah. All right, bring in our next guest, gentlemen.
All right. Well, we just still have Jerry, Lincoln, and
Orande, what do you think?
I missed the part concerning what Jerry said, but I believe you guys speaking about the student who got suspended.
Expelled now.
Expelled.
Okay. Well, I support the move, but I agree what you guys were speaking about yesterday and even today, that what provision do the system have in place for the child? Because I believe you guys spoke about she is in Form 2 and her age is 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what you really have in place, because it really have to get a proper investigation have to be done to know what. Let's say we go with everything is being said is correct. Why is at that age still at that level at Form 2? And maybe this is where the system actually missed, and we really don't have nothing in place that for remedial to catch those individuals, put them in place. And as someone spoke this week, that really brought up an interesting point. With this, we was on the 2-year lockdown with the Zoom and the classes. And we know how young people are behind the cameras. And they say, like, we speaking and we seeing Wendell, and Wendell giving back shot, and I giving back shot. And we only saying, I will wait for you. We have to meet face to face. We have to meet face to face, because I could be living in Arima, you live in Port of Spain, and we face to face, and it's until that time reach. Look me here now, we're ready to do. How were people actually seeing those stuff taking place online? And yes, the students may not be doing it in front of the actual teachers, but you don't know what WhatsApp group they were on or what other platform. So it's really a different dynamics of how we have to be able to reach the younger generation, especially now in this day and age of the social media. But I agree that we have to have a lot of things in place that a child does make a mistake at the age of 15. We can't just say, okay, expel and get rid of you, and that's it. We have to put things in place that, okay, if there's something slow, if it means what remedial classes, it have to be a productive citizen of the society and moving forward.
And I think that's what everybody's concerned about. What is to become of this young lady post this issue, and how is she going to? How is the state going to educate her for her to be able to move past this and never? Because she's 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She did a terrible thing, but at 15 years old, it should not define the rest of your life.
Right. Yeah. And don't be surprised, let's say you have a lot of stuff in place. She could become a very good mentor when she become older. That's it. Look, this is my life story. This is something I did in X at this time, and look, I'm here now. Where she maybe has saw certain things to move forward in her life.
Well, history is certainly on her side, because history is replete with people who would have had a tough start and they have a good life now. So history is certainly on her side.
Okay.
The system needs to be more proactive, and the system is clearly not providing the kinds of interventions for students who are struggling academically, emotionally, or behaviorally. It is clear.
And I agree with you, Paul Richard. Yesterday we spoke about the teachers. They need to have an assistant teacher in the classroom as well. A class can have past 15 students, between 30 and 40 students in our class, and one teacher is there to manage that entire class. You will miss
We like to compare
even
with Sweden and Switzerland
yeah,
and how well they're doing, and they don't realize that is the systems they have in place there.
yeah.
They have a general ed teacher, they have a special ed teacher, and they have an assistant teacher all in the same classroom.
Correct. Because even when in curriculum development, sometimes when you access certain teachers when they're teaching, and let's say you have on the syllabus or curriculum, whatever, you have like A to Z. Some teachers will be teaching A, B, and they already miss out C, and there are some students in the class may already understand what C is about. You miss out, there are some students gonna miss out that. I will give you an example.
Yeah.
A phone call just came in. Right. I'll give you an example with a senior student, a classmate of mine. They were doing a course in UA, and I think it was land and surveying. And because some of these students were actually able to see some stuff done practically in front of them. And this was how like related to maths. A lot of them see it and say, wait now, I am feeling this math all this time. And because I'm able to see it done practically in front of me now, they're now able to understand it because there are some teachers may just have one method of way of being showing this lesson, but there are different methods of showing the same lesson so everyone to grab onto it. You cannot expect an entire class of 40 and you have one style you want to approach the entire class. You have different methods. And not everyone, some people are visually, some people, you have to be able to hear, touch, feel, and different learning styles are how they able to grab the lesson. So I don't know. There's a lot they can play behind the scenes, and maybe Paul Richard, you in the belly of the beast. So I don't know.
Don't listen to me. I'm on the unbeat, you know.
Yeah.
But let me ask you guys.
No, we got to run, gentlemen. It's 30 seconds before 8 o'clock.
I didn't
So
realize.
let's just acknowledge all our hits there, Wendell and Paul.
Yeah. Karen, Bernard, good morning. Morning, guys. Have a wonderful day. Keith Williams, pleasant morning. The thing is that it's proven that expulsion, proven that expulsion and suspension, I'm not sure where that went. Trini Bray, are you the public prepared to pay for the recommendations being made about the number of teachers in class? I don't know what that means. And Keith Williams again, expulsion and suspension don't work in terms of reducing violence in schools. All right.
It means more teachers means the government has to put out more money, which means you have to pay more taxes. Are we prepared to pay more taxes?
But you know what? You know what? We will pay less in national security allocations down the road.
You're right.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a safe weekend.
All righty.
All the best to you guys.
All right,
good morning to you as well. All right. Let's get into our 8 o'clock news brief, all powered by Champlain Auto Services.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
A 15-year-old female student is due to appear at the Faizabad Juvenile Court today after she was charged with wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm and possession of a weapon yesterday. The Form 2 student from Marabella was arrested and charged following a report of a wounding incident involving another female student, which occurred on Monday, 6th June. The Ministry of Education announced on Wednesday that the student was being expelled from the school for the attack. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers